Robbinsdale swinging in, and it's a fair ball, and Weimerskirch wins it. Champlin Park back to state for the third straight year.
Welcome to Sports Jam for the week of October 30th. I'm John Jacobson.
And I'm Jay Wilcox. This week, section cross-country highlights. We'll talk volleyball with the Champlin Park Rebels.
And in our Sports Jam spotlight, we'll hear from the Cooper football team about their special season.
And we'll get started with state soccer. Maple Grove won a double overtime thriller over Prior Lake in the Class AA quarterfinals, while Wayzata downed Mounds View. That put the Crimson and Trojans into the semis to face each other. Bright and early Monday morning, they met at U.S. Bank Stadium. First half, and the Trojans' Ethan Wagner crosses the ball out front. It's cleared, but Maple Grove knocks it right to Walter Smith, who does a great job chipping it into the Crimson net. It's 1-0 Wayzata just over 10 minutes in. And a great play, Stuart Sane passes to Eric Williams, who shields off the defender and leaves the ball for Sane, who drills it in for a goal. Sane's marker gives Wayzata a 2-0 lead at halftime. Maple Grove gets on the board in the second half. Jack Gleckler's header off the Will Zaver corner kick gets the Crimson back to within a goal at 2-1. But less than a minute later, Wayzata responds. Patrick Weah sets up Sadra Gulzarian, and he scores to put the Trojans back up by 2 goals. And they really pull away from there. A great individual effort coming up from Weah to score Wayzata's 4th goal of the match. They add 2 more goals as Wayzata wins this one 6-2. Maple Grove plays for 3rd place Tuesday afternoon. And Wayzata is in the state final, and they will face Stillwater for a 2nd straight year in the championship. That game is Thursday at 3 o'clock at U.S. Bank Stadium.
The girls' semifinals are Tuesday. Each side of the Class AA bracket has a local team after they won quarterfinal round games. First-time entrant Maple Grove facing Eastridge on a wet, windy night. Maple Grove strikes early. Manon McMahon gets the return pass in the give and go. She stopped, but knocks the rebound over to Lauren Bredensteiner for the goal. 1-0 Crimson, 3.5 minutes in. In the second half, Mia Omar on the penalty kick for the Crimson, and she makes it count. And that one gives Maple Grove a 2-0 lead. A short time later, they add an insurance goal as Lexi Miller chips it. Raptors keeper can't keep it from crossing the goal line. Maple Grove wins its first ever tournament game 3-0. They're facing Lakeville North in the semifinals. The Wayzata girls are in the state tournament for the 26th time. They earned the top seed in Class AA after coming into the tournament without a loss. And they face St. Michael Albertville in St. Cloud. Wayzata dominates, and they break a scoreless tie here as Lily Gilbertson gets it to San Dietrich. Her shot hits the bottom of the crossbar and straight down for a goal. And it's 1-0 Trojans at halftime. Second half, Emily Dillon ahead to Gilbertson, and she'll cross the ball, and Dietrich gets the redirect for her 2nd goal of the night. And it's 2-0 Wayzata. And she'll complete the hat trick. Dietrich will take a pass, turns and fires and scores. Great night for her and the Trojans as Wayzata rolls toward a 3-0 win. That sets up the semifinals. Tuesday on Halloween, Wayzata faces Egan at noon. Maple Grove plays Lakeville North at 2 o'clock at U.S. Bank Stadium. The winners meet for the title Thursday at 5:30 p.m.
The Totino Grace boys are hoping to bring home a title in Class A. Farmington the site as the top-seeded Grace boys met Chisago Lakes in the Class A quarterfinals. Some great passing here as Parker Jager slides it over to Herbert Endeley, and he threads a perfect pass through to Stevenson Lamar for a goal. Grace makes it look pretty easy on that one. They lead it 1-0. Less than 7 minutes later, Endeley takes the pass, and then he beats the defenders with a great move, and he'll drill the shot in, and it's 2-0 Eagles. And they are not done yet. Endeley will get free for another strong shot. This one is stopped, but Lamar puts the rebound in as the Eagles win 4-0. They're playing Orono in the semifinals at this taping of Sports Jam, and the winner plays for the title on Thursday morning.
Section champions will be crowned this week in volleyball. Semifinal and championship matches are this week. Maple Grove hosted Wayzata in the Section 5-3A quarterfinals. Set 1, Wayzata's Olivia Roberts drops the hit just inside the back line for a Trojans point. Crimson run the slide play. Megan Pater delivers the kill. On set point for MG, Joey Brown delivers the back set. Annika Peeler puts it down 25-18. Crimson win the first one. Set 2, Maple Grove freshman Skylar Gray puts down the overpass for a 13-7 Crimson lead. Trojans show some fight. Roberts' hit is good for a kill in the corner. Then Kate Long's hit gets down, cutting the Crimson lead to 21-14. Maple Grove doesn't break, and on set point, Brown rips the ace serve for a 25-17 win. Set 3 is all Maple Grove. Alexi Creed goes cross-court for a kill for a 19-8 lead. Then Madison Black puts it over the defense and onto the open court for MG. Maple Grove gets the sweep. They'll face St. Michael Albertville in the semifinals Tuesday, with top seed Champlin Park facing Rogers in the other semi.
Meanwhile, top seed Hopkins hosting 8th seed Burnsville in Section 6-3A. Hopkins is in black. They get it to Anna Erickson, who goes deep middle for the kill and a 14-12 lead in set 1. Off a free ball, the Royals go quick here as Tara Lee sets to Shadir Tutt in the middle, and she puts it away. Hopkins overcomes a slow start to win 25-16. To set 2, the bump set outside to Erickson, and she knows what to do with this one as Hopkins grabs a quick early lead. Jane Nelson with a nice dig here, and setter Lee attacks on the second ball to score for the Royals. And Lee goes with the back set outside to Tutt, and she goes around the blocker for the point. Hopkins wins in 3. Armstrong, Benilde, and Edina also won to advance to the semis.
The state girls tennis tournament is in the books. One local team played in the tournament. Wayzata, champions of Section 5AA, and Rochester Mayo in a state quarterfinal round match. Second singles play, Wayzata's Ava Marco on the far court facing the Spartans' Amalan Soraja. Good rally here before Marco ends it with a shot off the net for a point. Whereas Soraja wins the match in a 3-set tiebreaker. On the first singles play, the Trojans' Samantha Stevenson follows her serve with a forehand winner, and Stevenson wins her match 6-1, 6-2. First doubles, Wayzata's Sydney Stern serving. She follows her serve with a touch shot near the net that falls in front of the Mayo player. Stern and partner Grace Jacobson win their match in 3 sets. Second doubles play, Ellen Barancic serves for Mayo. She and Kaylee Johnson playing Lauren Lowe on Miyazuki. Zuki finishes this point with a nice shot at the net. Lowe and Zuki win it for Wayzata 6-4, 6-4. Wayzata wins 6-1. They lost to Edina in the semifinals, and then to Matamidi in the third place match. Edina and Blake won the team titles, Jay, down at state tennis.
Great experience for the Trojans. They played pretty well there. Obviously, Edina, a tough one to get past, but a good job by them. Next up on Sports Jam, section cross-country titles are on the line, plus playoff football. Welcome back to Sports Jam.
Time to talk cross country as local runners and teams made bids to qualify for state at section meets. Anoka, the site for the Section 5AA meet, as the girls will take off first. Mounds View's Morgan Dahl and St. Michael Albertville's Allie Weimer battle for the win. Dahl wins it for the Mustangs. The STMA wins the team title. Osseo 8th grader Lex Day with a strong kick. She takes 4th place as a top local finisher. Blaine's Benjamin Olson is the boys' winner with a time of 15:59.2, beating out a pair of Mounds View runners. Maple Grove's Blake Iverson runs hard to the wire, taking 4th place, and its teammate C.J. Young not far behind. He's in 6th place. STMA easily wins the girls' title. Maple Grove's girls place 2nd, and they qualify for state. Gabby Bolser was the top Crimson runner in 11th, with Ava Lanou, Lindsey Young, and Nora Trost placing 17th through 19th for the Crimson. Osseo places 4th. Mounds View and STMA are the boys' state team qualifiers as the top 2 teams. Maple Grove has to settle for 3rd place. In addition to Maple Grove's Iverson and Young, Maple Grove's Patrick McLean, Champlin Park's Connor Janostin, and Osseo's Vaughn Thomas are headed to state as individuals.
Wayzata's girls and boys teams have had very good cross-country seasons. They performed well at their section meet. The Section 6AA titles on the line at Yale Woods. Emily Covert of Minneapolis Washburn races to the girls' title. Her winning time is 17:40. Wayzata sophomore Emma Atkinson is 2nd with her teammate Caroline Sasson right behind her in 3rd as they help the Trojans to the team title. Then it's the boys' turn up next at Gale Woods, and no big surprise at the end. Wayzata's Khalid Hussein races to the victory. Hussein's winning time is 15:37. Wayzata's Blake Boise is 5th, and Grant Matthews 6th as the Trojans dominate. As we check the team scores, Wayzata's girls win with 41 points as they take 5 of the top 16 spots. Edina is also headed to state. Hopkins, Armstrong, and Benilde run 8, 9, and 10. On the boys' side, Wayzata is also dominant, taking 5 of the top 10 places. Edina is the runner-up here also. Hopkins and Armstrong are 5th and 6th, respectively. Congratulations to the Heritage Christian boys team also. They were runner-up in Section 5A to qualify for the state meet, which is Saturday in Northfield.
Now to football. Maple Grove beat Wayzata in the regular season finale, and as it turned out, the teams were matched up again on the first round of the Class 6A playoffs. Trailing 3-0, Maple Grove's Evan Hull takes the handoff, bounces it to the edge, and scores from 4 yards out. It's 6-3 Crimson at halftime. Who says you can't throw on a snowy, windy night? Curtis Haugen looks left, then comes back right to a wide-open Joe Raymond. He's pushed out of bounds after a 40-yard pickup here for the Crimson. And it sets up this. Watch the leg drive by Hull. Looks like he stopped, but he never quits running. Carries the pile into the end zone for a touchdown to make it 13-3 Maple Grove. Early in the fourth quarter, Hull adds a little more room and makes a nice cut to score the last of his 4 touchdowns. Maple Grove pulls away for a 33-10 win. Also in 6A, Champlin Park visiting Mounds View. Joey Folds keeps it, gets to the 1-yard line and sets up a Folds touchdown. Mounds View fumbles the center quarterback exchange. Corey Cairo pounces on the loose football to recover for the Rebels. And it sets up Folds. He'll sprawl into the end zone. The Rebels lead 14-0 after 1. That's the halftime score as well. After another short Folds TD run, this time he goes to the air and hits Trey Carlson for the touchdown pass early in the fourth quarter. Rebels shut out the Mustangs for a 28-0 win.
Armstrong had a pretty decent 5-3 regular season, but the Falcons didn't fare well as the playoffs started at Blaine. An ominous start for the Falcons on the opening kickoff. Blaine's Sam Brown finishes a 99-yard return for a touchdown. Blaine's Byron Bynum Jr. has a big night. He breaks a few tackles here and goes 31 yards for a score to give the Bengals a 21-0 lead. Love the snow football game. Armstrong does get on the board. Quarterback Jake Breitbach fakes the handoff and keeps it himself. He goes 18 yards for the Falcons touchdown. Second quarter with the snow picking up, Bynum takes a screen pass and darts 14 yards into the end zone, giving Blaine a 35-7 lead. The Falcons score again before halftime on 4th down. Breitbach gets the pass off to Jesse Sherwood, and the big running back breaks a tackle and will fight his way to the end zone for a 37-yard touchdown. But it's Blaine's night. The Bengals advance with a 59-21 win. Totino Grace won the state 6A title last fall, but the Eagles have a much younger team this season. They look to start the playoffs on a good note as they hosted Anoka in the snow. After a bad Anoka punt snap sets them up, Peyton Schuler hits Charles Kamara in the flat for the touchdown as Totino Grace grabs an early 6-0 lead. And a punt that goes nowhere in the wind gives the Eagles another short field, and Carter Jam takes the pitch and scores easily. It's 12-0 Eagles after 1 quarter against winless Anoka. On the first play of the second quarter, Zach Klossing has a huge hole to run through and he'll score. The Eagles lead 26-0 at halftime on the way to a 32-8 win. They are at Lakeville North on Friday. In Class 5A, Cooper carried an 8-0 record into the Section 5 playoffs. After a bye in the quarterfinals, the Hawks had a second meeting with longtime nemesis Spring Lake Park in the semifinals. After Spring Lake Park attempted an unsuccessful onside kick to start the game, Cooper scores as Ante Burns takes it in for the touchdown. And their defense plays strong. Justin Madison gets the big sack here for the Hawks. Early in the second quarter, Nasir Borden gets a hole to run through, and he is quickly up to full speed. The Panthers can't catch Borden. He goes 58 yards for the touchdown to make it 14-0 Cooper. After recovering a Panthers fumble, the Hawks tack on 3 more on Edgar Carrillo's field goal with 1 second left before halftime to make it 17-0. In the third quarter, Nate Hill cuts it outside, and check out the great stiff arm to fend off a tackler. Hill goes 36 yards for the touchdown as Cooper rolls 23-0. We'll hear from the Hawks later in our Sports Jam Spotlight.
Also in Section 5, Park Center shocked Irondale 17-14 in the quarterfinal round. Pirates look to pull another upset as they played at St. Louis Park in the semifinals. First quarter, St. Louis Park quarterback Johnny Sorensen keeps it and goes 27 yards for a touchdown as the Orioles build a 21-0 lead. Second quarter, Park Center starts a comeback. Jamal Brown hits Ronald Garrison. He rumbles for a 40-yard touchdown here. And the Pirates clamp down on defense as well. Ryan Schnobrick with the tackle for loss here. Emmanuel Tamba takes the handoff, gets around the edge, and dives in for a score. And it's 21-12 St. Louis Park. That's still the score in the fourth quarter of this game. Brown to Garrison. He'll fight to the 3-yard line for a big 4th down conversion for the Pirates. And it sets up a touchdown by Brown. Park Center cuts the lead to 21-18. PC has a chance to win it. 1 second left from the Orioles 33, but Brown's pass broken up, and St. Louis Park advances to the section final with a 21-18 win, and they'll play at Cooper in the title game on Friday. Despite the loss, Park Center pretty good playoff push in those 2 games.
That's right. I admit it. I didn't see that win over Irondale coming. That was a big victory for them. Next in our Sports Jam Spotlight, we hear from guys on the Cooper football team about their great season and the memorable win that wrapped up the regular season. As we saw earlier, Cooper will play for a section title in football later this week. In this week's Sports Jam Spotlight, the Hawks talk about a very memorable season. There are more memories to be made for Cooper, but the wild double overtime 41-34 thriller against Irondale in the regular season finale will be tough to top.
Yeah, I'm going to remember this night for the rest of my life. You know, it's my senior year, my last season game. Yeah, I'm going to remember this night, you know, playing with my family. It was amazing.
Conference championship, never done it before. 8 years at Cooper, it's crazy how it went down. But you know, we fought hard, and ended up coming out with a win. And that's just the most beautiful thing about it. Man, senior night, I couldn't wish for nothing else but a W.
I don't think any of our seniors or any of the fans are going to forget this one. Double overtime, final. Terrence made an outstanding play on number 8. It was great.
The unbeaten regular season, a first for the program, featured a lot of lopsided wins for Cooper. The full game overtime test Irondale gave them was much needed.
Over the summer, our coaches push us so hard, and they tell us for the fourth quarter, for the overtime, you know, when it comes down to the line, comes down to the wire, times like this, you know, that's why we go so hard into the summertime to make plays and just finish it up.
Not to belittle any teams, but we've had a little easier schedule. We didn't choose that, but that's just what happened. Irondale's a great team, great coach team, great offense, and we needed this to wake up to succeed in the further in the playoffs.
Cooper's been building towards a season like this, and they've had some other very good teams in recent years. So it means more than just one big night or even one big season.
It means something to me, but I think for this program, it just shows the time spent, the dedication, the love that my coaches have for this program. The staff, my athletic director, the superintendent, they believed in the vision when they hired me. We've fallen short a couple years, but the kids never lost focus of what we're trying to accomplish.
For the seniors on this Hawks team, this season and their whole career go far beyond touchdowns and tackles.
We all trusted in the system. That's what we believe in all our coaches. We work hard to the max, we push ourselves, and that's what changes us. I mean, that's what sets us apart from other teams. Just the brotherhood and the just everyone wanting to do their job, wanting to play for the man next to them, and I can't even describe it. They're my brothers.
You know, Cooper is life. You know, it's a wonderful feeling to just know that you got your brothers behind you, you got the fans behind you, your parents, your grandma, everybody with you. It's a beautiful feeling knowing that, you know, being a Hawk for life, just being with it, man.
The Hawks host St. Louis Park Friday night at 7 o'clock for the Section 5 5A title. John talks volleyball with the Champlin Park Rebels when Sports Jam continues.
The Champlin Park volleyball team is making a bid for a 4th consecutive state tournament appearance. They're the #1 seed in Section 5-3A, and they join us now on Sports Jam. Let's start with Kaitlyn Weimerskirch, and tell me about this team and what has made this team so successful again this season.
We have a lot of new faces this year, and we knew it was going to be hard replacing like Sydney and all the seniors last year, but we really came together as a team, and we have a really good culture here, and I think that makes it easy.
Do you talk about that as a team, the culture, the tradition that this program has built up over the last several years?
Yeah, that's always been a key thing that we focus on, because team togetherness is what makes good teams, so that's all we do.
Championship.
Yeah, that was definitely one of our goals from the beginning, and we're taking it step by step. Don't focus too much on the end result and just keep getting better.
Caitlin, good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Izzy, Ashburn, it is a different lineup this year with the seniors you lost and the players you had to replace. What has gelled particularly well, or maybe even better than you thought this season?
I think it's really cool how a bunch of people are switching positions, and it's really cool to see each other almost mentor each other. So Emma setting and me hitting now, that's one of the examples, and we're helping each other out at practices and in games, what we can do better and smarter, and it's really cool to see people help each other out in different positions.
Do you feel pressure? It's the #1 seed and a team that everybody in your conference and everybody in your section is gunning for?
Not really, because I know that we're going to stay together and that we're not going to let that bother us, and we're just going to keep going step by step like Katie said, and not too focused on the end result, just what we can do now in our current games.
So many of you do have state and section tournament experience though in the past. That helped this time of year?
I think it does keep us a little bit more calm and relaxed throughout it all, and know what we can do on our side rather than focusing on what they can do, so it'll help us in the end.
Thanks, Izzy.
Yeah, thank you.
John Yunker, this team made a lineup change partway through the season. Tell me a little bit about what was involved in that and how much of a transition that was for your girls.
We started out the season doing something completely different as far as what we've done in the past. We ran a straight 6-2, and then partway through we're like, let's give this a try. So it's almost exactly what we did 2 years ago, where Izzy was setting 4 rotations, and then it was Sydney hitting 4 rotations, setting 2. We went that way with Emma. It plays into both our strengths. Fortunately, it has worked out fairly well, so we're going to roll with it for as long as we can.
It has seemed like you've really played some good volleyball here since that switch, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, I think it's just a matter of everybody's getting a little more comfortable. But it played to our strengths a little bit. We've been playing, fairly well. A lot of good teams. Some things have been exposed, but we're going to try and work on those in practice. But really proud of the girls, how they respond when maybe it's a loss or we didn't play the match we wanted to, and they show up next day of practice ready to go.
Finally, how do you keep the girls focused and not peeking ahead of the state tournament, making sure they focus in each section match?
Again, we talk about it a lot. It's in the back of their head, and we know that, but we just remind them it could end at any time.
John, thanks for your time. Good luck in the tournament.
Thank you.
The Rebels will host the semifinals on Tuesday night, and then the section final this Thursday, 7 o'clock at Osseo High School. We'll take time out and be back and wrap up Sports Jam in a moment. First, here's a look at our plays of the week.
It was partially deflected. Oh, man.
She just got a left foot on it.